And staying on elections in Africa, Kenya's longtime opposition leader, Raila Odinga, has filed a case with the country's Supreme Court to challenge the results of the 9th August presidential election, in which his opponent, William Ruto, was declared the winner with 50.49% of the vote. Mr. Ruto, who has served as deputy president since 2013, was named president-elect amid protests from 4 of the 7 electoral commissioners who renounced the results, calling them opaque. They claimed that the chair of the Electoral Commission, Wafula Chebukati, had hijacked the process leading up to the announcement and declared the results unilaterally. Mr. Odinga said the results were null and void and accused the chair of acting with impunity. And joining me on the What Now is the head of delegation, International Election Mission to Kenya and U.S. Connected Development, Patrick Coker. Good to have you join us. Not Patrick Coker. Good to have you join us. That would
thank
be
you for having me.
Unjoku.
Patrick Coker.
Unjoku, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, Unjoku Emmanuel, thank you. All yes, right, I can hear you.
All right. So let's talk about this because we understand that Raila Odinga has filed a petition. There was an electronic version of that was put, I think, on Twitter. But we also understand that 8 others have also filed a petition before the Supreme Court. Talk to us about who they are and what is their stake in the election and what the petition says.
So, yes, I mean, as expected, Raila Odinga has filed the petition. This is not the first time he's doing this. He's been doing it for all the 4 times he has run before now. He has done same. In 2017, he was successful. As the Supreme Court was able to upturn the outcome of the election in 2017 before had another election. But this time around, he has done the same. But one thing that I feel is very interesting in their process in Kenya is the fact that when any person goes to court after an election, unlike our Nigerian situation where the case goes from the High Court and then goes to the Appeal Court and then goes to the Supreme Court, in most cases, you see the person that won election and was returned elected would have stayed in the office and have controlled the state resources for months, in some cases more than a year before a verdict comes. But in Kenya, the Supreme Court judgment from the date of filing, which was 3 days ago, a verdict must be given 14 days from the day this petition was filed. And so this is good for the country, meaning that before the person who was declared elected by the IEBC is even sworn into office, the judgment would have come out. So there is no room for going to High Court and Appeal Court. It goes straight to the Supreme Court. And so counting already now, 17 days from now, we expect to hear a verdict. And what is also important post-election is that this is the first time in a national election in Kenya since their new constitution in 2010, and in fact, since 1997, that there has been a national election and there was peace after the election. So as we speak, and from reports that we've been getting from our situation room with our partners of Shahidi in Kenya, there has been peace and citizens have basically gone back to their businesses and moved on with their lives while they expect the outcome of the Supreme Court verdict in the next 17 days.
Like you rightly noted, it is a really quick process. It goes straight to the Supreme Court. Different from most other countries where you have to do the election tribunal, and then appellate court and Supreme Court. But let me ask you about because we know that this case could go in different directions. It could be a rerun, it could be a retally, or it could also be the Supreme Court affirming the victory of William Ruto. So talk to us about the possible consequences of any of this decision or judgment by the Supreme Court, bearing in mind that in 2017, Raila Odinga refused to participate in the rerun with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and he has said that he would not participate in any rerun where Chebukati is still the chairman of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission.
Well, I've looked at the petitions that has been filed by Raila Odinga, and what also informs a reasonable part of the petition is the walking out the stage walked out of the 4 commissioners who walked out of the tallying center at the last day of the tallying. But then what is also important is that, like I've always said, the returning officer in a presidential election, just like in Nigeria, in Kenya is the returning officer is IEBC chairman, and this is the person that declares a result. So this is not like a parliament kind of conversation where people have to take a vote. The returning officer is the presiding officer, is the returning officer in a national election. But however, whichever way this court goes to, if they overturn the election and ask for another election, there are economic implications in this process. From what I understand and from what we've read, the IEBC chairman is already saying that they do not have the resources to also. So to do another election is quite costly, to have economic implications on the country. But that is not what is important. Like I said, 17 days from now. But then again, from most reports from both local and international observers that participated in this election, they've adjudged the election to be transparent. They've adjudged the election to be credible. Anyway, so but if the Supreme Court, in their wisdom and in their experience, upturns the process, Kenyans will have no other choice than to go back to the polls. But however, we've also understood that a lot of citizens are already exhausted about the process. So there was public holiday was given, schools were shut down, people spent money traveling back to their homes and their country homes to be able to participate to vote, and yet there was still voter apathy. And we understand that if this poll goes back to a rerun, that a lot of citizens will not participate in the voting process, so they will even witness a deeper level of voter apathy. But fingers crossed, I will watch and see what happens. Thankfully, it's a very short wait, just 17 days. I don't even know how they do this in Kenya, because I saw this, we all saw the volumes of petitions and volumes of evidence box that Raila Odinga and Mata and their team came to court with.
Absolutely. One would think that it would take all of this. It would take longer than that to look at those documents, but absolutely, it is taking a short period of time. And we'll continue to monitor that development to see how where the Supreme Court will direct its judgment. Thank you so much for talking to us. Head of Delegation, International Election Mission to Kenya and U.S. Connected Development, Emmanuel Njoku.
Thank you very much for having me.